press conference on this right now. It looks like the chief is speaking. Let's listen in live.
Two of them were transported to an area hospital. One of them expired at the hospital, and one of them passed away here inside the mall. I can tell you that our investigation at this point is preliminary. It's still very active, but it appears this was not a random act of violence. It was between two parties that knew each other here at the mall, and a fight began that escalated in gunfire. It appears that both parties had firearms. We have a number of the people involved at the station, and we're interviewing them to better understand what led to this escalation. But I can assure you that those involved or responsible for this will be held accountable. I want to thank the other agencies that responded. We have U of M Dearborn that responded, the Michigan State Police, and I've had our federal partners reach out to see if we need any assistance. So I thank them for their assistance. The mall will be closed at least for the next couple hours as we kind of continue and wrap up the investigation here at the mall. But like this kind of these kinds of acts of violence are completely unacceptable. I mean, for it to happen anywhere is unacceptable. But the idea that it would happen in a public space, a mall where people are shopping, is unconscionable. And it's just for young adults. I can't give you the ages. I don't know them at this point, but they're no older than my kids at home, and so it's just unbelievable. So.
Chief, we had heard that people said maybe that someone was struggling with a woman over a purse, or it looked like it was a burglary.
There's nothing to suggest that the robbery was involved in this at all.
Nothing to suggest
not at
it was
all.
robbery.
No, not at all.
Okay. Do we know what kind of an argument or what exactly?
So we don't know. I don't know the motive for it, but it appears that they know each other, right? And they met here at the mall, and that a fight ensued and escalated into gunfire.
What the connection is between the two parties?
That I don't know. Right. We're actively kind of investigating. We're only about an hour and a half away from this happening, and but we'll get to the bottom of it.
We talked with multiple people that are worried about the fate of this mall or just the status of this mall with dangerous things that happen here. Are you concerned about this mall?
Well, when you say dangerous things that happen here, I don't know what you're alluding to. This is a terrible, tragic incident that could happen anywhere. Dearborn was the second safest city in the state of Michigan, and Dearborn's a safe community. But these random acts of violence can happen anywhere.
Do you know what kind of weapon was used and how it got into the mall?
No, I can tell you they're handguns, and it appears that they brought them into the mall.
Chief, when you talk about these young people,
Yeah.
are they all male?
Not necessarily, no. There was parts of the group. There were people that were parties to the group that were not male. So.
Our victims are three people who were.
Yes, they are
male.
male. They're all three young adults. Yeah.
And those three people are from both parties or just one party?
We believe they're from both parties.
Are there suspects at large right now?
At this point, I can't determine that or not. I can't give you that answer.
Anyone in custody?
So we don't know. Right now, we have folks at the station that we're interviewing that could lead to people being in custody, or it could not. So like I said, it's an active investigation.
We've heard that someone was hit by a car outside of the mall, and it might have been a suspect. Can you confirm if that's true or not?
So thank you for that question. There was an individual that was hit by a car on the other side of the mall in his effort to get away from the gunfire, but he is not connected to the incident.
What's your message to people tonight?
Go ahead.
Okay. A lot of people are scared, traumatized from what happened inside. What would you say to them tonight?
I would tell them that not to be afraid to come to the mall. That we've had acts of violence that happens everywhere, but this is generally a safe mall. It's a safe city, and I would encourage folks to visit. I expect that there's a watch party right now in the West End. I can guarantee that it's full of folks that are enjoying themselves and families. So I would encourage folks to not be afraid.
Chief,
if I could add something, Randy, if anybody does have any information related to this incident, I would encourage them to reach out to the Dearborn Police Department, because this is still a very active investigation.
But right now, we don't know if the shooter is in custody.
I can tell you, Amy, that I have folks involved in the incident at the station. And right now, I can't determine necessarily if they were the ones that were involved in the shooting. That would be premature.
Someone who was...
I'll take two more questions, guys.
There was some confusion about the evacuation protocols, if you will, because some stores were making people stay while allowing others to leave. A woman said that officers were clearing stores in the building with those who were trapped inside right there behind them. Can you speak to that?
I sure can. Thank you for that question, Randy. When you have an incident like this that's kind of dynamic, and as you can imagine, the mall is a very large place, we want to make sure we're being systematic about clearing the mall to make sure that there aren't any potential suspects that might be hidden in somewhere in the mall or dropped a firearm somewhere. And so we go through it systematically so that people can be safe, and it takes us a little bit of time to clear the mall. So that's what we were doing.
Do we know roughly the ages of the victims?
I can just tell you that they're no older than my kids, and they're in their late teens to early 20s. That would be my guess.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, you guys, I appreciate everybody coming out, helping get the message out. Again, thank you for your time. And once we have more information, we'll update you guys, okay?
Thanks.
All right, thanks, guys. You bet. Take care.
Chief,
All right, that was a brief press conference there from the Dearborn police chief, but a lot of information to recap for you. We learned that it was not a random shooting, that it was between two groups there inside the mall after a fight. He said both sides had handguns. One person died there at the scene inside the mall, another at a hospital. The mall is closed, at least for the next several hours, as troopers and officers there continue that investigation. The chief you heard called the shooting unbelievable, talking about how young these parties were. He said perhaps late teens, early 20s. And then finally, another noteworthy thing here, we learned that somebody trying to run out of the mall was hit by a car. This was on the opposite side of the mall. Somebody understandably scared, trying to leave as quickly as possible, but then hit by a driver in the parking lot. And the chief confirmed that victim was not involved in the shooting, just simply trying to get away and stay safe. He's asking for more information. If you know anything, to contact Dearborn Police and confirm that they do have some people at the station right now who they are interviewing as they continue to investigate. We have multiple reporters there on scene. Our Terrell Bailey and Heath Calb will have live reports and much more coming up for you on CBS News Detroit at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock.